You guys remember Pokemon Snap? That game was great. I played the hell out of that on the N64 growing up. No, sadly this isn't news or a remake, rumour or anything like that, but we are seeing a revival of it, kind of, as loads of new information about Pokemon Sun and Moon came out today, and the most interesting of them all was regarding Pokefinder, a new feature that sounds awfully familiar to Pokemon Snap. Basically, Pokefinder is a mini-game accessible from the Pokédex that will encourage you to take pictures of Pokemon around the region. Now, there are designated spots where pictures can be taken, and as with Pokemon Snap, your pictures will be rated. However, instead of it being the professor like in Snap, it will instead be done by the Rotom-infused Pokédex, who will assess the final results. Screenshots are also suggesting that these photos can be uploaded so that people around the world can judge them as well, and just as in Snap, taking higher quality photo results in access to more features such as zooming in, and again there are only designated areas for photo shoots, so you won't be able to photograph every type of Pokemon either. Now personally, I always wanted a remake or a sequel or something of Pokemon Snap, and to be honest, they kind of missed a trick not releasing one for the Wii U. That was like a marriage in heaven waiting to happen, but sadly we were not given it. But this seems like a return of it, kind of, and maybe if this feature is popular, we might see them consider at least a return of Pokemon Snap. As well as all this, we had some new Pokemon confirmed as well. I'm going to quickly go through them. We have a very odd looking Pokemon by the name of Type Null, a normal type Pokemon who was synthetically created similar to Mewtwo. And there's also Jang Mew, a dragon type, and Raticate is getting a Alola form, and I'm not going to lie, it looks a little bit silly, but we'll see how it plays out in game, I suppose. Interestingly, there's actually a little bit more difference between the two versions this time as well, rather than just different Pokemon and that sort of thing. Sun and Moon are actually set 12 hours apart, and events will take place differently due to the different times of day in each, so certain events will apparently play out differently. How differently? Well, unfortunately we're just going to have to wait and see. Does sound like an interesting concept though. I mean, the versions have really been like, hey, which legendary do you want? Which certain Pokemon do you want? For me, I've always just gone with, whichever one I think looks the best, and this time I'm going to go with Sun. Previous to that I went with Ruby and then X and yada 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 yada. Still, as interesting as that feature sounds about the time of day, I'm more interested in Pokemon Snap. Come on Nintendo, give us a real sequel. That would be amazing. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.